glitches. Sorry about that. Okay. Madam Clerk, when you are ready, will you please call the roll?
Councilwoman Melly Garthwaite is absent. Councilman Peter Rivera.
Present.
Councilman Sean Ronan is absent. Councilwoman Ann Heffernan.
Present.
Councilwoman Nancy Tagliatella.
Present.
Councilwoman Sarah Akbarali.
Councilwoman Sarah Akbarali, 3rd District, present.
Councilman Gary Donovan.
Councilman Gary Donovan, 4th District, present.
Councilman Edward McMillan.
Good evening, Councilman Edward McMillan, 5th District, present.
Councilwoman Dawn Callahan.
Councilwoman Dawn Callahan, 6th District, present.
Councilwoman Catherine Tucker is absent. Councilman David Beaton.
Councilman David Beaton, 9th District, President.
Councilman Ronald Quagliani.
Ron Quagliani, 10th District, present.
And Chairman Christopher Vargo.
Chairman Christopher Vargo, 8th District, present.
Okay, we have a quorum, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. We have a little bit of housekeeping to do. I'm going to ask for a motion to amend this evening's agenda. First item is I would like to add communication Q, transfer of funds from allocated contingency to, Commissioner Carano, is that the Department of Health? I don't know where he is.
Human Resources.
Department of Human Resources? Thank you. From the unallocated contingency to the Human Resources Department in the amount of $16,000. And I would like to put that as number 3A, council as a whole. And I would like to amend communication B to read January 2026. May I have a motion?
Motion.
Thank you. First
Second.
from Councilman McMillan, second from Councilman Donovan. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Thank you. So before we have public session this evening, I've invited Commissioner John Carano, who is the Commissioner of Human Resources for the City of West Haven, to give a presentation and brief the City Council on a noise complaint that's been sent to us by a number of residents. I know that there is an online petition circulating asking that the city look into this matter. In point of fact, the city has been looking into this for over a year, and Commissioner Carano is going to be able to explain everything that the city has done to date, discuss some of the roadblocks and challenges that he's faced, and what the next steps going forward are, i.e. this transfer of funds that's now on our agenda. So, Commissioner Carano, whenever you are ready, sir.
Thank you to City Council for inviting me to... Anymore? Okay. Thank you to the City Council for inviting me to present on the work the city has undertaken to address the quality of life issue for our residents. I'll be walking through several slides and key details. I want to start with the summary. The city's been actively working on this issue for the last year. After receiving concerns from residents, we initiated a process of collecting decibel readings across multiple locations throughout the city. While none of those readings exceeded the limits set by statute or local ordinance, they do indicate the presence of a low-frequency tone. We have been working to identify and confirm the source of that tone. In addition to conducting decibel readings, we have consulted with DEEP and the EPA, neither of which enforce or investigate these types of situations any longer. And we also coordinated with the Connecticut Department of Public Health. Finally, we sought legal interpretation of the applicable statutes to better understand the city's authority and our options. We have completed all testing possible within the capabilities of our equipment. To confirm the source of the noise and its compliance with the applicable statutes, at the end of the presentation, I will be recommending that the city engage a third-party acoustic firm, an expert in this area. Independent, certified testing will provide objective, verifiable data which will guide the city's next step based on confirmed facts while protecting the city at the same time. I'm going to start with some basics. Chairman Vargo asked me to run through a few of the basics first. A decibel level is a unit of measure for sound intensity that represents the loudness of a sound. Low frequency sounds are characterized by their deep pitch and long wavelengths, making them capable of traveling long distances. Instead of a sharp noise like a vacuum cleaner in your house, it often comes across as a rumble, hum, or vibration. Low-frequency sounds affect every individual differently. As a result, it presents significant challenges in terms of measurement and regulatory enforcement. I spoke with Neo DiLoretto from the Environmental and Occupational Health Hazards Division of Public Health at the state. He stated that most municipalities have noise ordinances, as we do, but he suspects they will not be very useful in this situation as they tend to focus on the louder noise sources. This particular issue we're dealing with involves both frequency, octaves, and decibel level. Low-frequency noises are harder to pinpoint and create pressure on the eardrum even when they're barely audible. External factors such as weather conditions, wind, time of day, and seasonal variations cause some complications as well. For example, the recent loss of foliage from the trees, the noise appears to be more audible due to the absence of the natural buffering. In addition, the railroad's recent removal of tall evergreen trees along Caligari Drive also, I'm sure, has not helped. As far as the statute is concerned, both the city ordinance and the state statute mirror each other. What it basically says is in an industrial zone, you are allowed up to 70 decibels. However, when that noise emanates into a residential zone, you are allowed 61 decibels during the day and 51 decibels in the evening. There is something called prominent and discrete tones. This is going to be very important to our analysis. If we can prove that this noise is a prominent and discrete tone, we can drop each of those decibel levels by 5. So the 70 goes to 65, the 51 goes to 46. Prominent discrete tones, if you're thinking, are clearly identifiable single frequency sounds that stand out from background noise. Instead of a smooth or broadband sound like wind or static, these are narrow, steady frequencies. Now, we can't just say, just because it's a steady frequency, it's a prominent and discrete tone, I have to prove it. And in order to prove it, we need to run a 1/3 octave band analysis. That is what is required in order to drop the level of the decibels in the statute. I've learned way more about sound over the last year than I ever thought possible, but I'm going to explain this map a little to you. This red line is the demarcation zone between the industrial zone up here and the residential zone down here. The little red dots you see are all the areas where I've taken readings over the last year. It's really ramped up over the last 2.5 months. Just to give you an idea of this industrial zone, excuse me, this is Caligari Drive, and this is Heffernan Drive. Okay, so up here we have Yale West Campus, a lot of different buildings. You also have Pez, which is beyond 91 here. You have Hurlin Press, we have Glanbia, and we have more Yale West over here. Down here we have, this is called Oberk, which is a packaging house, Azure, which is a water treatment facility, Cosmos, which most people know, and Promoco Manufacturing, which is a machine shop. So as I started taking these decibel readings, it started really on Donna Lane. And then as I went around to different sites as complaints were coming in, the interesting fact is I found that my house on Bailey Drive, halfway up, always came in as the highest compared to everybody else. It comes into play a little later in the analysis, and I'll explain that when I get there. As far as a timeline, I can go through. What you see on the screen is a summary timeline, but I'm going to summarize it even further. In 2023, following many noise complaints, one of the companies on Heffernan Drive found a faulty bearing in their exhaust fans. That issue was it was resolved at the time. In '24, following continued complaints, The same company on Heffernan Drive hired a company called Terrell Technical Services to perform an acoustical study. In 2025, complaints continued. In February, Chairman Vargo and myself believe we found the noise. What we had set up was there was a particular resident on Donna Lane who would call Chairman Vargo, text him, who would text me, and we'd be out at 11 o'clock at night, 2 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning, trying to find these sounds. At night, it's easier to find because there's a lot less ambient noise going on. We thought we found it at Lab 8. I'll show you a picture of that. In March, the noise was still there. We thought we found it again with the generator. And then in April, complaints continued, and this company on Heffernan Drive ordered muffler wraps and several other pieces of equipment to help dampen the noise. Between April and September, we were waiting for this equipment and items to come in to try to help this, and we were thinking, okay, this is going to work. The new equipment was installed in September. In October, we started getting complaints again, and in November, we sat with the company again, and they had basically indicated that they've invested significant time and money into this issue and up to this point, and without identifying a clear source, they're not prepared or comfortable moving forward with further investment. They have done several things, as you will see as I go through this, and I think once we do this analysis, I think we'll be able to work more closely with them. So what the sound testing report that they paid for and received, what it says is this company on Heffernan Drive hired sound engineers, and they utilized something called the inverse square law to estimate sound pressure level at a couple of residential locations. I got into a lot of detail on this. I went down into that rabbit hole, but in very basic language, what they do is they take readings at the company's property line and then say, okay, if these readings at 200 feet are X, what are they at 1,500 feet away? What are they at 2,000 feet away? And that's how this particular analysis is done. What that sound engineer, again, based on the analytical data, the samples they collected by the company sound engineer, they concluded that it does not appear that the noise originating from their location is significantly impacting the other properties sampled during the assessment. So that's what we have in front of us at this point. A couple of the things we found, Chairman Vargo, you can hop in here. Oops, sorry. We thought for sure this piece of machinery was the problem. And I've lived in this neighborhood for 50 years, and we'll get into that a little bit, but this machine was making a hissing sound. And it wasn't the low tone we're hearing today. It was a hissing sound that was loud, and we thought this was it. They have since put a sound wrap around this and put a fence around it as a sound barrier. Obviously, once they did that, we found out that that's not it. They had a large temporary Greco generator that was acting as a pump, and this was a whooping sound and a high hissing sound every time it tried to pull through the pump. They have since removed this generator after our discussions. Just to give you an idea of Bailey Drive, I wanted to kind of show you, because here's where all the daily a lot of the daily testing was taken. This is Yale West Campus, as you could just see up in the corner here. Right here is Heffernan Drive, right where my mouse is. And there are a couple of companies that start right about here. Then you have the railroad tracks, which, if you hear this, we all hear the railroad every 30 minutes, right? You have Caligari Drive, which is just under here. And then there's always highway noise and things like that. But like I said, when I started taking measurements, I noticed that the measurements I was taking at my house were higher than most other houses, so it would be a good, easy, actually, less complicated if I were to take daily measurements from my house and use that as a trigger. So here's the daily measurements we've been taking since November 12th, which is the day we had a meeting with a particular company up there. So the purpose of this and I put this on here, again, in industrial zone, you're allowed 70. If it's prominent and discrete, you're allowed 65. During the day, 61, 56. At night, 51 and 46. So as I would take a measurement, I thought this was going to be straightforward. You know, I was going to look at my house. I was going to see a measurement around 50. I was going to run up to the site, stand outside with my X-Tech noise meter, see that they're over 70, issue a noise violation. Let's move on. As you can see through the last 2.5 months, it's not going to happen. It's not going to have to work like that. That's why we need an expert. When we look at PM readings that are over 51, here's one here, and I'll get into the specifics of this one. On November 22nd, there was a reading of 56, almost 57 on Bailey Drive. And you say, well, you could issue it on that. No. What we have to do is isolate the noise and then prove where it's coming from before I can issue a violation based on taking a measurement from the residential zone. What the purpose of this was for me to be able to say, it's loud today, let me go up there and see what I can find. Interesting, this set of data is interesting. At my home, I measured almost 50 on Christmas, and the day after Christmas, almost 50 again. They were closed. So there's obviously other noise involved, right? So that's why you can't just use from my house. I started testing from Rockefeller as well, and I want you to be careful. The decibel readings as you get further away are lower when you get to a street like Rockefeller, but Rockefeller is set up a little bit higher, and the noise is as penetrating there as it is right next to the location. So just because the decibels are low, again, we're dealing with low frequency noise. And when I mean noise, I mean vibration. And you could feel the house shake once in a while. You feel it. You could just feel it in your body. Even though it's not loud and not hurting your hearing, you could feel it. And I think you're going to hear that from many people today. So the purpose of this was to be able to, come to the council and say, we tested, we measured, done. It doesn't work out. None of the readings we took on Heffernan Drive are over 65 or 70, as you can see on here. On the night of the 22nd of November, we had that little text string going where Chairman Vargo got a call. He called me. I don't know, it was like 11 o'clock at night. We started going out to all these places. We saw 59 in the industrial zone. Caligari Drive, right across the street from the railroad tracks, was 56. Bailey Drive was 56. Donna Lane, 55. Interesting here, Star Distributors and Advanced Grow Labs. Nothing to do with the industrial park, but we were going up and down Frontage Road, Railroad Avenue. We went all over the place to try to figure this out. The noise here is all highway noise. And this Advanced Grow Labs, if you've ever stood in their parking lot, and Chairman Vargo can talk to this as well, when a box truck went by or a tractor trailer went by, their parking lot acts as a tunnel. And that's why their decibel level, you can see it's the highest decibel on the thing, but it had nothing to do with the industrial area. Previously I heard a lot of Pez. Every time I've went up to Pez, they've been closed while I'm hearing the noise. Enthone, we went down Frontage Avenue, Lankin Tire, American Freight, Knapp's Company on Railroad Avenue, the West Haven train station. We went to Hood Terrace. Also went to Pagels. There was some discussion about the cell tower on top of Pagels. It must be a very low frequency because it's tough to be heard over there. Here's just some other readings from December 20th. Again, Heffernan Drive was at a 60, and you could go down the list and you could see what everybody else was. January 7th seemed kind of loud, and I went up there, and again, 59. And then January 11th, I said, let me just try one more time last night, and we went up there and the same kind of thing. But again, please understand, lower decibel levels does not mean that this noise impacts less. It impacts the same. I talked a little bit before. We went to DEEP and we went to the Environmental Protection Agency, neither of which work on noise complaints any longer. Occupational Safety and Health Administration, somebody had mentioned OSHA. It's really a workforce thing, but I said, let me check into it anyway. Acoustical company. I spoke to counterparts of ours at another city that has a very similar issue going on, and they're actually in court today. They gave me the name of this acoustical company and said they were great to work with. So we went out to this company, and they gave us back a proposal and said they would support the city of West Haven with an airborne noise test, including supplying the acoustical instrumentation, conducting the testing, analyzing the results, assisting with the mitigation, providing a test report, and explaining the results. I'm sorry, the exact number's up there. It is in the $15,000 to $16,000 range, which was actually a little less than what we thought it was going to be based on what the particular company on Heffernan Drive had told us they paid. This particular person, who's the principal in this company, has 40 years as a Navy subcontractor, identifying and mitigating tones on submarines, torpedoes, ships, and underwater craft. He was actually responsible for making them as silent as possible. The timing of this is immediate. This time of year, we want, if we're going to do this, we want to do this now because there's no leaves on the trees. There's no crickets. Crickets are havoc on these microphones when they put them up. Other insects are havoc on the microphones. The analysis is weather dependent, so we're going to need to, what this gentleman would do is he would take a look at the next 10 days. If there's no rain, is not helpful because that makes too much noise. If there's no rain in the forecast and the wind is expected to be below 10 miles an hour, and we could find a week in there that works, we'll set it up and go. He's talking about 1 week for the testing and about 30 days for the report. He's going to use 4 acoustical devices, one at Caligari, so we'll know right away whether with prominent discrete tone works or not. And then he has 3 at residential sites, and we can move these throughout the process to see what different sites look like. His software allows for adjustments based on elevation, which is interesting because if you go down to a lot of the sites right off of Island Lane, like at the bottom of Perry Merrill, what happens is they're under this noise cap, so they don't hear it. I live down there. You didn't hear it. I've been in this area for 50 years. I've heard all sorts of industrial noises. This one's a little different. This one's just different than everything else I've experienced. This gentleman has testified in court as an expert witness on several occasions, and he comes highly recommended by the Bristol Health Department. The mayor also asked that I go get other references from the gentleman, which I called personally, and everyone talks very highly of this gentleman. So if we were going to do it, I would highly recommend we go straight forward with this guy. That's what I have. Mayor, did you have anything you wanted to add?
No, sorry. I'm sure we're going to hear from our residents. I just want to thank you for all the work that you've done. I know it's been as frustrating and as a puzzle for you as it has been for others. I want to thank all the residents for their patience as we continue to, do a deep dive and really determine. We have to cross our T's and dot our I's before we go to an organization and a company and cite them. So I think this acoustical study is really the logical next step. I think on the council agenda tonight is the funding transfer, me asking you to transfer the funds so that we could pay for it. I think it's well worth, the amount that the estimate that they have given us, and they came highly recommended from Bristol. So I think I look forward to this, the next step, so we could really get, our arms around some concrete answers. Once we have those answers, then we'll be talking with our attorney, who is here somewhere, and determining what the recourse is for who we need to address. So we're very careful, but I also want to mention that, I think we all suspect where it's coming from, but I think John's also been ruling out other suggestions that have come our way. So we're going to continue to do that, even though the acoustical study is going on. And I think, John, did you offer to, did you say you would stay after everybody speaks if you wanted to show any more results, or where do you want to do that?
John?
If anybody's interested, the third floor conference room, I'll bring my computer up there. If anybody wants to talk some more about how I did, what I did, or what we're going to do going forward, I'd be more than happy to talk about it.
And when is that? After everybody's,
I would say after
everybody
the,
speaks on this
after the
topic?
people speak on this topic, we could then,
Okay.
I'll vacate and go up to the third floor, and if anybody wants to come, great. If not, that's fine too.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you, Mayor. Commissioner Carano, thank you so much for the presentation. I think it's important that the residents know that the city is looking into this. It's not as easy to just drive up to down the road and just say, this is where it's coming from. There's a lot more work that has to go into it for your department to be able to issue a citation. We also have to prove that it is violating some either ordinance that's on the books or state statute. So I do agree that this sound test is the next logical move, and I appreciate all the time that you've put into this and going out with me late at night, especially on Valentine's Day. Our wives were very,
We
very
were on a
forgiving.
Valentine's night, yeah.
It was a nice date. He brought Speaking of noise, are there any, before we move on to the motion, are there any questions from the council of Commissioner Carano? Councilman Callahan?
Good evening. Thank you very much, Mr. Carano, for that very deep dive into that. That's very informational, I think, for a lot of us. I didn't realize it was that involved. My question is for us that have not heard it. Would you compare it to, because I'm on the West Haven side over by almost New Haven, so I constantly have the traffic of the planes over my house, and my house shakes and vibrates. So is that similar to like what we're talking about?
I think it's a little different, because as planes, you said planes, right? As planes go by, that's a loud noise that's there for a temporary period of time, and yes, while it shakes your house, it's a loud noise and you can hear. This is very different. I think some people will say, my daughter, for instance, my daughter doesn't hear it at all. I hear it clear as day, my wife once in a while, and I hear that when I talk to other people, it's, well, I don't hear it. Well, it's there. You may not hear it. Everybody's eardrum, the vibration onto the eardrum is very different. And so I don't know that I can compare it to like Tweed Airport with the airplane, but it's more of a low, just hum, and it's more of a vibration than a noise.
So when you and Councilman Vargo were out, would you say, and you went to a lot of places, and thank you so much for doing that, would you say it's kind of like, I guess, it's hard to explain a noise, but kind of like the condensers on a roof? That kind of constant, because you went around and you kind of, you know what the sound sounds like.
Yes.
And then when you went to the other industrial places, is that similar?
The most logical explanation is air handling equipment on a roof.
Got it. Okay. All right.
So when it's out of sync, or when it's not calibrated, or if it's just the equipment's not good, it's kind of like opening your back window and not your front, and you get that, right? It's just that low, but it's low. It's not loud like that would be.
And it hurts your ears when you open the back window and not the front.
exactly,
All right, great. That's a great explanation. Thank you. Good luck.
Any other questions? Councilman Beaton?
Commissioner, thank you very much. It was outstanding. Is it safe to say that this is designated to the 10th, 9th, and 8th districts within our city?
I'm not great on the districts, but yes, we have hit the 10th, 9th, and 8th districts. I haven't heard from too many others.
I can corroborate that all of the complaints that we have received to date have been from those 3 districts. All set? Any other questions from the council? Councilman Quagliani?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Commissioner, thank you. Again, great presentation. Something that the residents have been dealing with for a while, but it looks like that we're making progress. I live on Downdraft, so I have neighbors that come to me and say, "Hey, do you hear that noise?" And so, as you said, it's a low frequency and it affects different people in different ways. So the next logical step seems you've certainly done more than that I certainly would expect of you to do, but we appreciate that. And I think the next logical step is to get an expert in to identify, as you said, the noise levels and where they come from. So if I can, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to approve communication Q from Mayor Dorinda Boer regarding a transfer of funds in the amount of $16,000 from unallocated contingency to the Department of Human Resources to conduct sound testing and analysis.
Thank you. I have a motion from Councilman Quagliani to approve communication Q from Mayor Dorinda Boer, approving a fund transfer, and just for the record, the amount is $16,000 coming out of unallocated contingency, account number 19009905610, transfer to miscellaneous account under Human Resources, account number 15000105690. Again, the amount is $16,000. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second from Councilman Donovan. Any further discussion?
Roll call vote.
Seeing no more discussion, roll call vote, please.
Councilman Peter Rivera,
Approve.
Councilwoman Ann Heffernan,
Aye.
Councilwoman Nancy Tagliatella,
Approved.
Councilwoman Sarah Akbarali,
Approved.
Councilman Gary Donovan,
Yes.
Councilman Edward McMillan,
Approved.
Councilwoman Dawn Callahan,
Yes.
Councilman David Beaton,
Yes.
Councilman Ronald Quagliani,
Yes.
and Chairman Christopher Vargo.
Yes. Motion passes. Thank you all. Commissioner, thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it. Time is 7:37, and we will enter public session. What we will be doing is I will ask all of the folks that are here to speak about the humming noise to come up first. We will read the names off of the sign-in sheet, and then I will ask if anybody else wants to speak on the humming noise. That way, if you choose to join the commissioner upstairs, you're free to do so when you're done. So at this time, Madam Clerk, when you are ready, if you could start reading the names.
Kimberly Nunez,
Please just state your name and your address when you come up to the podium.
Kimberly Nunes, 83 Rockefeller Avenue. Good evening, Mayor, Council, and neighbors. I want to thank both Chris Vargo and John Carano for all the work you guys have put in. We all really appreciate that. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to speak out tonight. I'm here as a resident and the organizer of the petition for the low-frequency hum and the vibration that we've been experiencing. The hum has dated back for more than 4 years. The residents in West Haven and surrounding neighborhoods have been dealing with this constant and intermittent hum that has now occurred pretty much every night. Despite the complaints, the source has been unidentified. It seems that we have now identified where it most likely has been coming from. People have been experiencing disruption with our sleep, increased stress, difficulty concentrating, and just a decline in our overall well-being. In addition, it has affected, I can speak for it, has affected my pets as well, which has not really been brought to anybody's attention, but it has noticed definitely restlessness and anxiety within my animals. It's, like they had said, it's just not audible. It's definitely a vibration that we can feel in our homes. The petition is now over 130 signatures and still rising. So it's not just one household, it's multiple neighborhoods. I also want to acknowledge that Mayor Dorinda has been wonderful with keeping us posted with social media, and it has been very effective. However, this issue has not been one of those updates. So it would be wonderful if we were able to get these updates with what is going on in the community. And I think that this really wouldn't have been something that would have gone to the petition or the media. I think that just getting those updates would have been wonderful. And thank you for the updates that you do give us. I think it's very, very helpful. To be very clear, the petition was not to blame or accuse any business, facility, or any individual. We're just asking for transparency and expert-led investigation with monitoring technology, which obviously is what we are going to be getting done. And just being up to date with what the next steps and findings are. Everyone deserves to have peace in their homes, and this issue affects the entire household and pets. The residents are asking just to be updated with the progress. So thank you for your time, and we respectfully ask to continue to work with the community and all of you with a solution.
Thank you for your comments.
Donna Raza.
Good evening, all. My name is Donna Raza, 47 Rockefeller Avenue. First and foremost, for Mr. Carano and to the City Council, I want to thank you all for just passing that, because that's probably the most responsible thing we can do in the city. Instead of putting, without having 100% proof to these businesses, the last thing we want to do is to poke the tiger enough that they want to just leave. So I think that the best thing you guys just did was right now is to look for the source, and by getting it done professionally. So thank you very much for that. I did not really notice this noise until I'm a pet lover. I got a wonderful dog. She ran for president in 2024 and lost, Lady Quigley. But she all of a sudden started acting really odd. Right? She was just starting to pace around the house, stare, like kind of just whoa. And to a point where we thought maybe she had like a dementia type thing. And then I realized that now I started hearing this noise. So the animals do react differently, and they can hear things we can't hear. And so now that I became aware of it, the noise, now it's, if she gets me up, now I'm up for the rest of the night, because now you can't go back to sleep because of that humming. So we had to buy a little sound machine to keep her from hearing it, which has helped us sleep a little bit more. If you forget to turn it on, you can forget sleep for the night. So I do hope you find the source. I think you just took a giant leap forward in finding that source, and thank you very much for doing so. So that's all I really have to say is, you know, it's going to be in the best interest of the city residents who are really struggling with this noise to find that source without rocking the boat too much with our businesses. We don't want to lose any businesses. So thank you very much. Have a great night.
Thank you for your comments.
Steve Green.
Thank you, Mr. Carano, for doing this. I get woken up a lot.
Sorry, Mr. Green,
because
Mr. Green, can you state your
oh,
address for the
110
record?
District Drive, sorry.
Thank you.
I'm up by the West Shore Fire Department and the library, and I have a cat that likes to wake me up at night. And I do notice a lot of times it's hard to get back to sleep because I'm hearing the rumbling noise. And I always thought that was coming from UPS in Orange, but it's not. But anyways, I hope with all this funding that you guys just got that we could solve the problem, because it's annoying noise, very much so. Thank you.
Thank you.
Tracy Sabla. Sabia?
Is it Sabia?
Sabia?
Sabia.
Sabia, sorry.
Tracy Sabia, 9 Mount Pleasant Road. I live the next street over from Mr. Carano. And I've just noticed it recently, within the last, I would say, 2 months, but it's deafening. Just the hum is so bad, and it's just, I can't sleep at night because it's so bad. And it's like, especially today, it was just, it's constant all the time, and I hear it all through the house. There's not a spot in the house that you can't hear it. So I appreciate that you're going to be looking into it some more and everything, because it's just no way to live. And I've been there 4 years, and the thing I loved about that place is it was so quiet, and then just all of a sudden, this noise is just terrible. And I appreciate you looking into it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Rosemary Brooks.
Hello, everybody, and Rosemary Brooks, Alexander Drive. I've been hearing this noise.
I'm sorry, Ms. Brooks, we need your full address, your number. the
Oh,
number.
24 Alexander Drive.
Thank you.
I've been hearing this noise for over 4 years or whatever, and I just thought it was me going a little cuckoo. But it's gotten to the point where it just gets in your chest, and my husband and my daughter didn't hear it for a while. And the last, like maybe summertime, a year ago or whatever, my daughter's bedroom is on like Morgan Lane side, and she's, "Ma, what's that noise?" What's my husband? Now he's hearing it. He's retired and he's hearing it, and it really is awful. And I was so happy to hear that somebody was finally addressing it. I didn't know any of this was going on, but thank you very much, and let's hope we get to the bottom of it.
Thank you.
John Clancy.
Sorry. Hi, John Clancy, 22 Homesteader Lane. I moved here in September of 22. It was only a few months before I noticed this noise. I contacted the health department of West Haven in 23. That didn't really go anywhere. After not being able to tolerate it any longer, I contacted the health department again in 2024. That got a little bit further. They engaged with this company. I am very familiar with the sound study that this company did with, I think it was Terrell. This has become such a problem that I've been taking a daily diary of when this noise is at its worst. And I can tell you that the one afternoon that this company conducted their test, the machinery was not running. So I think we need to be very careful in engaging with this company because I think they know what's causing it and that they're being evasive. I am neighbors with one of the owners of GHP, which is the printing company that is at the end of Heffernan Drive. He has engaged with this company, and they have outright told him that the noise is produced when they're manufacturing their edible glitter product. So they are full aware of what is causing it. They're full aware that it is coming from them. I want to thank the commissioner for his investigation so far. For the councilwoman who asked what it sounds like, the best way to describe it is imagine someone running a shop vac outside your bedroom window all night long, and imagine trying to sleep through that. I actually took a recording of it before I came here this evening. I could try to play it if that's appropriate from my phone.
Actually, Mr. Clancy, what I will ask is if you could connect with Commissioner Carano and arrange to have a copy of that recording sent to him. Also, if you're able and willing to share that log with him, I think that would be helpful as well.
Absolutely. All right. I won't bother then.
Thank you.
Margie Main. Did I get that right?
I wasn't really going to talk, but Margie Main, I live on Woodvale Road, 116, and I hear it even with my windows shut. It's just a humming sound. And it seems to be, sometimes it's worse, like today I didn't hear it, but all weekend long I heard it. So it seems to be worse at sometimes and not as bad at others. But I want to thank everyone, too, for looking into it. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you. Is that the last one?
No, we have three more.
Okay.
I'm not sure if they want to speak. Some of them say they didn't, but I'm going to read them anyway. Jerry Kane.
You don't want to speak, Mr. Kane? Okay.
That's fine. Larry Iannucci.
All set?
And the last one is Zena Rutolo.
Good evening. First off, thank you for approving Mr. Carano's research and study here.
I'm sorry, Ms. Rutillo, could you just say your address?
Zena Rutolo, 39 View Street.
Thank you.
I came here tonight. I've been complaining about this noise for a long time. I didn't go public, just Facebook complaints, videos. Last Wednesday just took me over the edge. I suffer from lupus. It's an autoimmune disease that my body is just attacking itself. Since August 14th, I go weekly for chemo treatments because I have stage 4 lymphoma caused by my lupus. Last Wednesday night was so bad that I was up all night long. Finally, 10 o'clock in the morning, my body just collapsed. I was just so destroyed from this hum. I've recorded it. I shared videos. Something really needs to be done. Friday, I went to Smilo. I was so sick, they wanted to cancel my treatment. And I said, no, I have to get my chemo. I have to finish this, and I got to keep fighting. But when I have a hum noise and a vibration, where I had my head wrapped in blankets, hoodies, a winter hat, everything to drown this noise out, where I almost left my house 3 o'clock in the morning, took my blankets, and slept in the car. I was just going to go to the beach and sleep in the car, get further away from this noise. I can't do that. But something needs to be figured out. Last month, I took a ride. I went down Heffernan Drive. I sat by a business that had this loud hum that sounds just like what I'm hearing. I don't want to say the name, but it sounded exactly like what I hear in my house. Friday night was bad. Then over the weekend we had rain, which kind of helped it out. So it was like white noise and the wind. But I really appreciate listening to us, but we need a solution because I'm not going to survive it. And I can't take off during the night, 3 o'clock in the morning, to get away from this noise. So, but I appreciate everything. Thank you.
Thank you. Stacy, was that everybody on the list?
That is everybody on the list, and I do have one emailed request.
Please.
This is from Michelle Douglas at 117 Jesse Drive. Let me just find it. Dear City Council, Clerk, Mayor Borer, and council members, testimony regarding the low-frequency hum in West Shore. I would like this to be read into the record during the public comments regarding the hum. I will not be able to attend the meeting in person due to health concerns. My name is Michelle Douglas, and I live at 117 Jesse Drive. I have previously been in touch with council members Steve Johnstone, Chris Vargo, Melly Garthwaite about the low-frequency hum affecting my sleep and health. Since I lost my adrenal function due to cancer treatments in December of 2023, I struggle with fatigue every day. I need to take extra steroids with any stress, and I need to updose when this hum affects my sleep or causes physical symptoms. Physically, it causes my heart rate to go up, nauseousness, dizziness, and I feel sort of tingling sensation. I think from the vibration. These physical symptoms continue for the entire duration of the hum. If it lasts longer than 30 minutes or so, my symptoms get worse, and I need to take extra steroids. This affects my sleep, which often triggers extreme fatigue, headaches, or migraines, and an inability to do my job the following day. I am a dog trainer and behavior consultant. This is a job where I need to be able to physically handle strong, energetic animals. I have not been able to work very much at all these last 2 years. There are actually 2 different sounds that I hear. One is very low and pulses for about a minute at a time with a 5-second break in between the pulses. And I seem to be the only one in my home who hears it. The other is a slightly higher frequency and more constant sound like a plane or a vacuum or a loud fan. Everyone in the family can hear that one. When I first noticed the sound around midnight one night, I thought maybe my husband was playing some low frequency sound or something like in one of those sleep apps, and he wasn't. Then I thought maybe our furnace was malfunctioning and it wasn't even on. I checked all of our appliances, outlets, and computers. It definitely was not coming from inside the house. I haven't driven around to see if I could find the source. I had assumed something on or near the Yale West campus or near the train tracks, but I haven't gone out searching. I think I would get physically sick if I got closer to it anyway. And if I vomit, it becomes an emergency very quickly with no adrenal function. Here are a couple of examples I had documented last year. I had been in touch with both Steve Johnstone, District 10, and Chris Vargo at the time. 4/7/2025, the late night low frequency hum is back. It's about 45 seconds, 5 seconds off, keeping me awake. Should I read the rest of this log? Or submit
No,
this to
we'll
John?
submit it to the record. Thank
All
you.
right, and I'll skip the log and submit that to John Carano. And then in ending, it says, I have not continued to write these events down, though the noise has continued and regularly interferes with my sleep. The sound is definitely more intrusive in the summer months when the windows are open. I do notice it at all hours, but I'm usually able to ignore it during the day when I'm doing other things. Thank you to the council for addressing this issue. Michelle Douglas.
Thank you, Stacy.
You're very welcome.
Is there anybody else that wants to speak on the humming noise? Okay, so that'll conclude the discussion on that piece. If anybody wants to join Commissioner Carano, he is going up to the 3rd floor, right across from the elevator doors as a conference room, and you're welcome to chat with him. And I wish you all well, and we will keep you updated when we have more information. Okay, would anybody like to address the City Council? Ms. Scalpi?
I'm here to address the contaminated building again. Good evening, my name is
Ms.
Michelle
Scalvi, hold on 1 second, please.
Can you just move the microphone towards you, and then it'll be able to come up on the stream? There you go.
Is that good?
Yeah.
That's better, and don't forget your name and address for the record, please.
My name is Michelle Scalpi, 128 Hilltop. I'm here to assert my First Amendment right to redress and petition my government again, not as Stardust Blessings Metaphysical or any commercial entity, but as a private entity domiciled in West Haven. On March 18, 2024, the roof was torn off my rented space at 145 Boston Post Road, aka 137 Orange Avenue, approximately 6 a.m. start time. No permit, no abatement. Much of my business was contaminated and destroyed by 9 a.m., which was before the permit could have possibly been applied for, much less approved. The permit was approved on 3/20/2024, according to West Haven records. I obtained a FOIA response dated April 15th showing one version of that report named notes137.pdf dated 4/15/2024. My attorney filed for a FOIA separately and received a different version months later dated 4/4/24, not closed out, different dates, and omitted information pertaining to my insurance claim. That's not a clerical error, that's evidence of tampering. The report my attorney received was missing key information, including acknowledgement of damages and required cleanup. My copy, while still incomplete, at least it referenced damages and cleanup. Attorney's copies did not. Both versions conflict with each other, proving the records have been altered. The altered one was referred to as notes 175-176.pdf and was later used by Quality Roofing and the landlord to file an insurance claim falsely stating that there was no damage. Quality Roofing even stamped a fake FOIA number on the document, WHFOI-000175, and submitted it to the State Department of Consumer Protection, which has been confirmed by the City of West Haven to be invalid. That is a felony, in case anybody doesn't know that. West Haven not only allowed this fraud, but enabled it. The tampered document is referencing your document number system in the building department's records. This numbering system is showing in insurance communications, which alludes to insurance fraud. I was told by the building department that they ordered the landlord to replace the roof, but there is no public record of that order. No permit, no abatement, no coordination no safety precautions, and no HVAC shut off as required. That building was fully occupied, the HVAC system was running, and tenants, including myself, were left completely exposed. I have a public record from the West Haven Health Department stating that the mayor's office directed them not to speak to the tenant. While I was having respiratory distress and no way to know what I inhaled, it was also noted not to send out the violation order to the landlord under that directive by the mayor's office. Why? I have no idea. It was legal, correct protocol, and grounded in law. That is a deliberate obstruction of a health crisis remediation. The building is still contaminated. The HVAC system was never remediated. West Haven's manipulated records have obstructed a legal insurance claim, has obstructed state agencies and EPA to perform investigations trying to figure out what has possibly happened. Meanwhile, people, including children, are exposed in the contaminated building, and this has been going on for 21 months to be exact. And now there is an active cancer
I'm
case
sorry.
linked to that
Hold
building.
on one second, Ms. Scalpi,
People are
please.
still breathing and
Ms. Scalpi,
recycled
there's a
air.
point of order. Could you hold on for one moment, please?
Sorry.
It's been more than 3 minutes.
Ms. Scalpi, how much longer do you
I
have?
thought I was allowed 5 minutes. There's literally 3 sentences left.
Okay, you may finish. Thank you.
I kept it to 5. That's what I thought the rules were. Now there's an active cancer case linked to that building. People are still breathing recycled air, contaminated air. The city knows, the state knows, and now the public knows. So tonight I am putting West Haven on notice. Public records have been falsified, justice obstructed, lives remain endangered. This is my formal petition entered into the public record demanding immediate attention to the health crisis for the workers and visitors at 145 Boston Post Road, AKA 137 Orange Avenue. It is a busy dental office that serves children, large liquor store, and a print shop. Lawful remediation of that building should and must be performed. You are hereby on notice. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for your comments. Would anyone else like to address the city council? Sir?
Steve Green, 110 Jesse Drive. I noticed, well, this has been going on for a long time, the street lights on the Captain Thomas Boulevard area, what the city owns, are not kept up. Half of them are out at night, and I know there's a lot of them stuck on during the day. Why don't we try selling all the light poles to the Leonard Illuminating Company, and this way the city doesn't have to take care of it anymore? That would be a good idea, and make sure you get at least a certain amount of money for the lights. And I got one other thing, the traffic lights in West Haven, what are not owned by the state of Connecticut, the DOT. I think when they were changed the last time, Mayor Richard Borer was in office, and that was years ago. A lot of them really need to be changed because they are really falling apart. Either that or repainted if they're still in good shape. But that's 2 things that needs to be looked at in this city and in this administration. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Would anyone else like to address the city council? For a second time, would anyone else like to address the city council? Mr. Brown?
Frederick Brown, 100 Smith Street. I came tonight to endorse one person, and I find myself endorsing about 6. So I would like to endorse the mayor's recommendation for appointment Riley Waterfield to the Energy Commission, Paige Weinstein to the Citizen Advisory Panel, Colleen O'Connor to the Citizens Advisory Panel, Ursula Riley to the Inland Wetlands Commission, Roberta Garlock to the Citizen Advisory Council, and the one I came to endorse today was Kathy Hebert to the Citizens Advisory Committee. Kathy's been our chairperson on the Sandy Point Neighborhood Association. She's done a wonderful job, and I hope the council will support all of these candidates. They're absolutely wonderful appointments. And finally, I unfortunately came in late to a couple of meetings ago. I think the council did a very good job of appointing Robin Watt Hamilton and Bridget Hosky to the Parks Department, Robin Watt Hamilton to the Citizen Advisory Commission. again, thank you, but I hope you will support these candidates. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Brown. Would anyone else like to address the city council? For a second time, would anyone else like to address the city council? Ms. Hebert? Don't be shy. It's okay. Did he pull you down?
Hi, I'm Kathy Hebert, 166 Bloom Street, West Haven. The only thing I'm saying is, because there is another Kathleen Herbert. My name is Kathleen Hebert. There's no R in it. So I just want to make sure you have the right Kathy. Okay, it's H-E-B. Thank you.
Oh, I see. It's Herbert on here.
Chairman, what communication is that? What?
That is communication. P is in Peter.
Thank you.
It's actually. Okay. Thank you, Mrs. Hebert. Would anyone else like to address the city council? Second time, would anyone like to address the city council? Third and final time, would anyone else like to address the city council? Seeing none, public session is closed. Time is 8:06. Okay, at 8:06, we are convening the regular meeting of the City Council for January 12th, 2026. May I have a motion to approve the minutes of the regular meeting of November 24th, 2025?
Motion.
I have a motion from Councilwoman Heffernan. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second from Councilman Donovan. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstentions?
Abstain.
One abstention? Motion carries. May I have a motion to approve the minutes of the special meeting of December 15th, 2025?
Motion.
Motion from Councilwoman Tagliatella. Do I have a second? Second from Councilman McMillan. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? You abstain? One abstention. Motion carries. Okay, just for a point of housekeeping, I'm appointing Councilman Rivera as the acting chair for the Personnel and Civil Service Committee in Councilman Ronan's absence. And at this time, Madam Clerk, when you're ready, could you please hand out the communications?
We have communication A from the tax collector requesting consideration and action regarding refund of overpayments for December 2025, which will be filed with tonight's minutes. Communication B from the tax collector requesting consideration and action regarding refund of overpayments for January 2026, which will also be filed with tonight's minutes.
Sorry.
Communication C from Chief Joseph Perno requesting consideration and action regarding animal shelter donations being assigned to the Finance Department, Chairwoman Akbar Ali. Communication D from Mayor Dorinda Boer requesting consideration and action regarding an authorizing resolution authorizing the appropriation and expenditure of 100% of project costs totaling $3,104,541 to complete the Savin Rock Community School roof replacement project being assigned to the Education Committee, Chairwoman Akbar Ali. Communication E from Mayor Dorinda Boer requesting consideration and action regarding an amendment to Chapter 191 Sewers, Article 10 of the Code of the City of West Haven, being assigned to Legislative Matters Committee, Chairman Quagliani. Communication F from Mayor Dorinda Boer requesting the consideration and action regarding the appointment of Riley Waterfield, 70 Seaview Avenue, West Haven, to the Energy Commission panel of alternates. Ms. Waterfield's appointment will be replacing Michael A. Miranda Sr., whose term expired and will be effective immediately and expire on January 1st, 2027. Being assigned to the Personnel and Civil Service Committee, Acting Chairman Rivera. Communication G from Mayor Dorinda Boer requesting consideration and action regarding the reappointment of Paige S. Weinstein, 20 Platt Avenue, West Haven, to the Citizens Advisory Committee. Mrs. Weinstein's reappointment will become effective immediately and expire on January 10th, 2030. Being assigned to the Personnel and Civil Service Committee, Chairman Rivera. Communication H from Mayor Dorinda Boer requesting consideration and action regarding the reappointment of Colleen O'Connor, 464 3rd Avenue, West Haven, to the Citizens Advisory Committee. Ms. O'Connor's reappointment will become effective immediately and expire on January 10th, 2030. Being assigned to the Personnel and Civil Service Committee, Chairman Rivera. Communication I from Mayor Dorinda Boer requesting consideration and action regarding the appointment of Michael A. Miranda Sr. to 19 Homeside Avenue, West Haven, to the Energy Commission. Mr. Miranda's appointment will be replacing Christy Collins, whose term expired and will become effective immediately and expire on January 1st, 2027. Being assigned to the Personnel and Civil Service Committee, Chairman Rivera. Communication J from Mayor Dorinda Borer requesting consideration and action regarding the reappointment of Ursula C. Riley, 10 Hilltop Lane, West Haven, to the Inland Wetlands Agency Panel of Alternates. Ms. Riley's reappointment will become effective immediately and expire on January 10th, 2028. Being assigned to the Personnel and Civil Service Committee, Chairman Rivera. Communication K from Mayor Dorinda Borer requesting consideration and action regarding the reappointment of Roberta Garlock, 125 Great Soka Road, West Haven, to the Citizens Advisory Committee. Mrs. Garlock's reappointment will become effective immediately and expire on January 10th, 2029, being assigned to the Personnel and Civil Service Committee. Communication L from Mayor Dorinda Borer requesting consideration and action regarding the reappointment of Michelle Miller, 14 Savin Park, West Haven, to the Citizens Advisory Committee. Ms. Miller's reappointment will become effective immediately and expire on January 10th, 2029. Communication M from being assigned to the Personnel and Civil Service Committee, Chairman Rivera. Communication M from Mayor Dorinda Borer requesting consideration and action regarding the reappointment of Jonathan E. Jones, 30 Chew Street, West Haven, to the Board of Health. Mr. Jones' reappointment will become effective immediately and expire on January 10th, 2029. Being assigned to the Personnel and Civil Service Committee, Chairman Rivera. Communication N from Mayor Dorinda Borer requesting consideration and action regarding the reappointment of James Greenberg, 106 Lake Street, West Haven, to the Zoning Board of Appeals. Mr. Greenberg's reappointment will become effective immediately and expire on January 10th, 2031, being assigned to the Personnel and Civil Service Committee, Chairman Rivera. Communication O from Mayor Dorinda Borer requesting consideration and action regarding the appointment of Stuart Rosenkrantz to 441 Glendivin Drive North, West Haven, to the West Haven Allentown Fire Commission. Mr. Rosenkrantz's appointment will be replacing Corey Nunley, whose term expired and will become effective immediately and expire on January 1st, 2031, being assigned to the Personnel and Civil Service Committee, Chairman Rivera. Communication P from Mayor Dorinda Borer requesting consideration and action regarding the appointment of Kathleen Hebert, 166 Bloom Street, West Haven, to the Citizens Advisory Committee. Mrs. Hebert's appointment will be replacing Sammy Rivera, whose term expired, and will become effective immediately and expire on January 1st, 2029, being assigned to the Chairman Rivera. And we did have communication Q, which was already voted on. And that concludes our communications this evening, Mr. Chairman.
I apologize. Former Chairman Pascal wasn't listening and he didn't hear all those. Can you do that again? Do it again.
Sure. He left his mints.
We found them. Thank you. At this time, we will recess into committee meetings. First up is the Finance Committee, Chairwoman Apparelli.
Thank you, Chairman. The time is 8:13, and your Committee on Finance is now in session. Members present are Councilman Donovan, Councilman Quagliani, and myself, Councilwoman Akbarali, as chair. First, we have Communications C, Animal Shelter Donations, and I would like to open this up for discussion. May I have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Thank you. Second, please.
Second.
Thank you. I first would like to thank Margot Peterson from Bailey and Hirschman PC for the very generous donation of $37,628. That was very kind. Does anyone on the committee have any questions? I would like to open it up to the council. Anyone on the council have any questions? Seeing there are none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Chairman, the time now is 8:14, and your Committee on Finance is now closed.
Thank you. Next up is Legislative Matters, Chairman Quagliani.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Your Committee on Legislative Matters is now in session at 8:14. Members present are Councilwoman Akbarali, Council, and myself, Councilman Quagliani, acting as chair. We do not have a quorum this evening for legislative matters, so I'll hold the communication until next meeting. That finishes the Legislative Matters Committee at 8:14 p.m.
Thank you. And I bet now he wishes that he would be able to get this done that fast. Personnel and Civil Service, Acting Chairman Rivera.
The time is 8:15 p.m. The Committee on Personal and Civil Service is now in session. Members present are council persons Tagliatella, Akbarali, and myself as sitting in as chairman for Mr. Ronan. Members absent are Councilman Ronan and Councilman Garthwaite. We have before us tonight communication F, which we're going to hold in committee. So we're going to pass on that one.
Just as a point of information, Mr. Chairman, we're holding those two new appointments in deference of Chairman Ronan not being here due to him spending time with his family during his brother's wake. He wanted an opportunity to vet those appointments himself.
Okay. Yeah, there's two additionals coming down the road. So moving on to communication, we have before us communication G. I'd like to entertain a motion to bring this out favorably to the whole council. Motion. A motion made by Councilwoman Tagliatella. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Councilwoman Akbarali. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, moving on to communication H. I'd like to entertain a motion to bring this out favorably to the whole council. Do I hear a motion?
Motion.
Second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Moving on to communication I. I'd like to entertain a motion to bring this out favorably to the whole council.
Motion.
Second.
Point of information, Mr. Chairman. This is one of the ones that.
Oh, that's right,
Councilman
this one's
Ronan
being
asked
held.
to hold.
I had my,
That's okay. I'd like to rescind my second.
Rescind motion.
all right, this will be held in committee for Sean's return. Or Councilman Ronan's return. Communication J. I'd like to entertain a motion to bring this out favorably to the whole council. Do I hear a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? On to communication K. I'd like to entertain a motion to bring this out favorably to the whole council.
Motion.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Moving on to communication L. I'd like to entertain this motion to bring it out favorably to the whole council. Do I hear a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? On to communication M. I would like to entertain a motion to bring this out favorably to the whole council.
Motion.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? I know. Any abstentions? On to communication N. I'd like to entertain a motion to bring this out favorably. I'll start over.
I'm sorry.
Let's try that again.
I'd like to entertain a motion to bring this out favorably to the whole council.
Motion.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? We are going to hold communication O for the next meeting. Communication P.
Second.
Any discussion? Now or? Yes. Yes.
I lost track. We ask that, I hold the comment on every individual because, we have a lot. The group that we have reappointing is for the Community Development Block Grant, which starts on tomorrow, right? Tomorrow it starts. Wednesday, on the 14th. While we were holding all the new appointments, there is one new appointment that we are making tonight because Kathy is being recommended to serve on that committee, which is starting Wednesday night, and we didn't want to wait because it's critical work. So I just want to say that Kathy has been an incredible community member, always advocating for some great things for our city. She's very passionate about a lot of topics, and I've learned a lot from her. I think she's going to be very valuable on this committee because she's going to lend a lot to the conversation about what we need in the city. So I highly recommend her, not just because she's sitting here, but because I think she's going to be a great asset. Not to say that all the other reappointments that I did not comment on, they're obviously very valuable, or I wouldn't be reappointing them. So suffice it to say that's a collective endorsement to my appointments tonight.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? The Committee on Personnel and Civil Services now closed at 8:21.
That's got to be a record for the number of communications in that amount of time. Well done.
Shoot me now.
Good job, good job.
Moving on to the Education Committee, Chairwoman Akbarelli.
Thank you, Chairman. Time is now 8:22, and your Committee on Education is now in session. Members present are Councilman McMillan, Councilman Rivera, Councilwoman Tagliatella, and myself, Councilwoman Akbarali, as chair. We have before us tonight Communication D from Mayor Duran DeBoer requesting consideration and acting regarding an authorizing resolution authorizing the appropriation and expenditure of 100% of project costs totaling $3,104,541 to complete the Savin Rock Community School roof replacement project. I would like to open this up for discussion. May I have a motion? Second, please.
Second.
Thank you. Mayor Borer, would you like to speak on this?
Yeah, just want to say that we've been waiting a long time to do this roof, and the funding is in the capital plan.
Okay.
So it is already allocated in the plan we had already approved.
Perfect.
So this is just doing the resolution that the state needs in order to move forward with the construction funds.
And that's not to exceed the 3.1, correct?
Does it say not to exceed in the
Yeah.
resolution? Yeah.
Okay.
I think
I
we
just wanted
updated
to,
that.
be
Yep.
clear on that. Thank you
Correct.
very much.
Thank you.
Does anyone on the committee have any questions? I would like to open it up to the council. Anyone on the council have any questions? Seeing there are none, all those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Chairman, the time is now 8:23, and your Committee on Education is now closed.
Thank you. We will reconvene council as a whole at 8:23. We have no unfinished business. We will move on to committee reports. Will the city council clerk please read Communication A and Communication B into the record?
Certainly. Communication A from the tax collector requesting consideration and action regarding refund of overpayments for December 2025 will be filed with tonight's minutes. And Communication B also from the tax collector requesting consideration and action regarding refund of overpayments for January 2026 will also be filed with tonight's minutes. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Stacy. Next up is the Finance Committee, Chairwoman Akbarelli.
Thank you, Chairman. Communication C, to the Honorable City Council of the City of West Haven, your Committee on Finance, to whom is referred the matter of consideration and action regarding animal shelter donations. reports that the committee met on the 12th day of January 2026 to consider said matter. It is the unanimous opinion of the committee that the following motion be presented. Resolved. The City Council of the City of West Haven hereby approves the following donations totaling $38,148.10 to be deposited into line item 101-000-00-28285 Animal Shelter Donations. Gail Tagliatella, $10. William Gilbert Jr., $15. William Benson, $100. Linda Bennis, $75. Front Streams SPV LLC, $19.20. As it Mark Trust Company, $300. And Bailey and Hirschman PC, $37,628.90, totaling $38,148.10. And I so move.
Thank you. I have a motion from Councilwoman Akbarelli regarding Communication C from Chief Joseph Perno regarding action and consideration on animal shelter donations. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second from Councilman Donovan. Discussion? Chairwoman, could you just read the name of the decedent again for that very generous gift? I just want to make sure that's clearly in the record that
Absolutely.
her
It's
generosity.
Margot Peterson from Bailey and Hirschman PC.
And it was Margaret,
I'm sorry, was it Margaret or Margot?
Margot.
Margot, yep, Margot Peterson.
Thank you.
Yep, no problem.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. Is that all, Chairwoman?
Oh, that is it for finance,
Thank you.
Problem.
Moving on to legislative matters, Chairman Quagliani.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Your mic.
I'll get used to it. All right. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Tonight's communication in the legislative matters regarding amendment to Chapter 191 sewers will be held this evening. That's it for legislative matters.
Thank you. Moving on to the man of the evening, Chairman Rivera for Personnel and Civil Service.
Communication F will be held in committee until the next council meeting. So we'll move on to Communication G. To the Honorable City Council of the City of West Haven, your Committee on Personal and Civil Service, to whom was referred the matter of consideration and action regarding the reappointment of Paige S. Weinstein, 20 Platt Ave, West Haven, Connecticut, to the City Citizens Advisory Committee. Mrs. Weinstein's reappointment will become effective immediately and expire on January 10th, 2030. Reports that the committee met on the 12th of January, 2026 to consider said matter. It is the unanimous opinion of the committee that the following motion be presented. Resolved, that the City Council of the City of West Haven hereby approves the reappointment of Paige S. Weinstein, 20 Platt Ave, West Haven, Connecticut, to the Citizens Advisory Committee. Mrs. Weinstein's reappointment will become effective immediately and expire on January 10th, 2030. And I so move.
Thank you. I have a motion from Councilman Rivera regarding a matter of reappointment of Paige S. Weinstein to the Citizens Advisory Committee. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second from Councilman Donovan. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries.
Communication H to the Honorable City of the City of West Haven, your Committee on Personal and Civil Service, to whom was referred the matter of consideration and action regarding the reappointment of Colleen O'Connor, 464 3rd Avenue, West Haven, Connecticut, to the Citizens Advisory Committee. Ms. O'Connor's reappointment will become effective immediately and expire on January 10th, 2030. Reports that the committee met on 12th day of January 2026 to consider said matter. It is the unanimous opinion of the committee that the following motion be presented. Resolved, the City Council of the City of West Haven hereby approves the reappointment of Colleen O'Connor, 464 3rd Avenue, West Haven, Connecticut, to the Citizens Advisory Committee. Ms. O'Connor's reappointment will become effective immediately and expire on January 10th, 2030. And I so move.
Thank you. I have a motion from Councilman Rivera regarding the matter of reappointment of Colleen O'Connor to the Citizens Advisory Committee. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second from Councilwoman Heffernan. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries.
Communication I is held in, I'm sorry. Oh, held in committee for the next council meeting. Communication J to the Honorable City Council of the City of West Haven, your Committee on Personal and Civil Service, to whom was referred the matter of consideration and action regarding the reappointment of Ursula C. Riley, 10 Hilltop Lane, West Haven, Connecticut, to the Inland Wetlands Agency Panel of Alternates. Mrs. Riley reappointment will become effective immediately and expire on January 10th, 2028. Reports that the committee met on 12th day of January 2026 to consider said matter. It is the unanimous opinion of the committee that the following motion be presented. Resolved, the City Council of the City of West Haven hereby approves the reappointment of Ursula C. Riley, 10 Hilltop Lane, West Haven, Connecticut, to the Inland Wetlands Agency Panel of Alternates. Mrs. Riley's reappointment will become effective immediately and expire on January 10th, 2028, and I so move.
Thank you. I have a motion from Councilman Rivera in regards to the matter of reappointment of Ursula C. Riley to the Inland Wetlands Agency Panel of Alternates. Do I have a second?
Second.
Dealer's choice. All of them. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries.
Communication K to the Honorable City Council of the City of West Haven, your Committee on Personal and Civil Service, to whom was referred the matter of consideration and action regarding the reappointment of Roberta Garlock, 125 Great Circle Road, West Haven, Connecticut, to the Citizens Advisory Committee. Mrs. Gorlock's reappointment will become effective immediately and expire on January 10th, 2029. Reports that the committee met on the 12th day of January 2026 to consider said matter. It is the unanimous opinion of the committee that the following motion be presented. Resolved, the City Council of the City of West Haven hereby approves the reappointment of Roberta Garlock, 125 Great Circle Road, West Haven, Connecticut, to the Citizens Advisory Committee. Mrs. Gorlock's reappointment will become effective immediately and expire on January 10, 2029, and I so move.
Thank you. I have a motion from Councilman Rivera regarding the reappointment of Roberta Garlock to the Citizens Advisory Committee. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second from Councilman Beaton. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries.
Communication L to the Honorable City Council of the City of West Haven, your Committee on Personal and Civil Service, to whom was referred the matter of consideration and action regarding the reappointment of Michelle Miller, 147 Park, West Haven, Connecticut, to the Citizens Advisory Committee. Mrs. Miller's reappointment will become effective immediately and expire on January 10th, 2029. Reports that the committee met on the 12th day of January 2026 to consider said matter. It is the unanimous opinion of the committee that the following motion be presented. Resolved, the City Council of the City of West Haven hereby approves the reappointment of Michelle Miller, 147 Park, West Haven, Connecticut, to the Citizens Advisory Committee. Mrs. Miller's reappointment will become effective immediately and expire on January 10th, 2029, and I so move.
I have a motion from Councilman Rivera regarding the reappointment of Michelle Miller to the Citizens Advisory Committee. On your mark and set. Second? Councilwoman Callahan, you gotta be faster. Any discussion?
Can't have them all.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries.
Communication M to the Honorable City Council of the City of West Haven, your Committee on Personal and Civil Service, to whom was referred the matter of consideration and action regarding the reappointment of Jonathan E. Jones, 30 Chew Street, West Haven, Connecticut, to the Board of Health. Mr. Jones's reappointment will become effective immediately and expire on January 10th, 2029. Reports that the committee met on the 12th day of January 2026 to consider said matter. It is the unanimous opinion of the committee that the following motion be presented. Resolved, the City Council of the City of West Haven hereby approves reappointment of Jonathan E. Jones, 30 Chew Street, West Haven, Connecticut, to the Board of Health. Mr. Jones's reappointment will become effective immediately and expire on January 10, 2029, and I so move.
I have a motion from Councilman Rivera regarding the reappointment of Jonathan E. Jones to the West Haven Board of Health. Do I have a second? Second from Councilman McMillan. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries.
Communication N, to the Honorable City Council of the City of West Haven. Your Committee on Personal and Civil Service, to whom was referred the matter of consideration and action regarding the reappointment of James Greenberg, 106 Lake Street, West Haven, Connecticut, to the Zoning Board of Appeals, Board of Health. Mr. Greenberg's reappointment will become effective immediately and expire on January 10th, 2031. Reports that the committee met on the 12th of January, 2026, to consider said matter. It is the unanimous opinion of the committee that the following motion be presented. Resolved, the City Council of the City of West Haven hereby approves the reappointment of James Greenberg, 106 Lake Street, West Haven, Connecticut, to the Zoning Board of Appeals, Board of Health. Mr. Greenberg's reappointment will become effective immediately and expire on January 10th, 2031, and I so move.
Thank you. I think that there's a typo in there, but I have a motion from Councilman Rivera regarding the reappointment of James Greenberg to the Zoning Board of Appeals.
Second.
Gotta be faster.
Where's my neighbor?
Next, second to Councilman Beaton for the neighbor. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries.
Communication O will be held in committee to the next board meeting or council meeting. Yeah. Communication P, and the last one, thank God. To the Honorable City Council of the City of West Haven, your Committee on Personal and Civil Service, to whom was referred the matter of consideration and action regarding the appointment of Kathleen Hebert, 166 Bloom Street, West Haven, Connecticut, to the West Haven Citizens Advisory Committee. Mrs. Hebert's appointment will be replacing Sammy Rivera, whose term expired and will become effective immediately and expire on January 1st, 2029. Reports that the committee met on 12th of January, 2026 to consider said matter. It is the unanimous opinion of the committee that the following motion be presented. Resolved, the City Council of the City of West Haven hereby approves the appointment of Kathleen Hebert, 166 Bloom Street, West Haven, Connecticut, to the West Haven Citizens Advisory Committee. Mrs. Hebert's appointment will be replacing Sammy Rivera, whose term expired and will become effective immediately and expire on January 1st, 2029, and I so move.
Thank you. I have a motion from Councilman Rivera regarding the appointment of Kathleen Hebert to the Citizens Advisory Committee. Do I have a
Second.
Second from
They
Councilman
weren't
Donovan?
getting that one, Kyle.
You wanted that one. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. That concludes?
Yeah, that concludes.
You're all done.
Thanks.
Thank you. Excellent job. Really, thank you. Moving on to the Education Committee, Councilwoman Akbarelli.
Thank you, Chairman. Communication D, to the Honorable City Council of the City of West Haven, your Committee on Education, to whom was referred the matter of consideration and action regarding an authorizing resolution authorizing the appropriation and expenditure of 100% of project costs totaling $3,104,541 to complete the Savin Rock Community School Roof Replacement Project. Reports that the committee met on the 12th day of January 2026 to consider said matter. It is the unanimous opinion of the committee that the following motion be presented. Whereas the City Council has authorized the West Haven Board of Education to apply to the State of Connecticut Commissioner of Administrative Services and to accept or reject a grant for the Savin Rock Community School Roof Replacement Project, the project. And whereas the City Council has established the building committee for the project, and whereas the City Council has authorized at least the preparation of schematic drawings and outline specifications for the project, and whereas the City Council has authorized the expenditure of funds for the project from those previously allocated in the fiscal year 2025 budget for the capital improvement project entitled Savin Rock Community School Roof Replacement, limited to the extent required for fees and costs incurred or to be incurred for preparation of the above referenced schematic drawings and outline specifications. Now therefore be it resolved that the City Council authorizes the appropriation and expenditure of 100% of project costs totaling $3,104,541 to complete the project, and be it further resolved that Dorinda Borer, as mayor of the City of West Haven, is authorized and directed to execute and deliver any and all documents related to this resolution on behalf of the City of West Haven, and to do and perform all acts and things that she deems to be necessary or appropriate to carry out the terms of such documents, including but not limited to executing and delivering all agreements and documents contemplated by such documents. And I so move.
I have a motion from Councilwoman Akbarelli regarding a matter of appropriation and expenditure of 100% of the project cost totaling $3,104,541 for the Savin Rock Community School roof replacement project. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second from Councilwoman Callahan. Any discussion? Seeing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries.
Thank you, Chairman, and that concludes your Committee on Education.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. Moving on to council liaison reports. Are there any? Councilman Quagliani.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just want to report to the council some administrative changes that have taken place or are continuing to take place at the police department. Some of them are bittersweet, some are exciting, officers moving up in the ranks. About 3 weeks or so ago, Deputy Chief Carl Fleming retired from the police department after 34 years of service. He had a great send-off, a packed room, and just a way of thanking him for the many years that he sacrificed to be on the job. So Carl has retired, and in his place, Captain Joe Romano was promoted to Deputy Chief last week. So he'll be assuming that position effective immediately. And next week, Lieutenant Anthony Pasilio will be promoted to captain. So some exciting times for those officers at the police department as the administrative changes take place. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other liaison reports? Councilwoman Callahan?
Thank you very much. Yesterday, we attended at the First Congregational Church, the Martin Luther King dedication with Carol Brown. It was a nice service, and it was well attended.
And you did an outstanding job speaking.
I appreciate that. I was nervous, but thank you.
You did great. On behalf of the Fair Rent Commission, some of you might remember that we had a number of residents come before us on the Crescent View apartment building. So they heard a complaint from one of those residents that came forward, and they have decided that they are ordering certain repairs to be done to the building that are to be done within the next 30 days and inspected by our building inspector. Rent will continue to be what it is. However, it can be revisited after those repairs are completed and inspected. So the complainant will have an opportunity to bring that back before them. Any other liaison reports? Any new business? No? Mayor, anything?
Just that I will be looking at starting a charter revision process. So I pulled out the files from the last two charter revision processes and reviewing them to make sure I understand with our legal department what steps need to be taken officially. So look for that. So we will follow a previous process. I also want to remind everybody about the concert this weekend. If you would like to attend, we're paying for that through an ARPA grant. So that is free to our residents. Maximum capacity is about 500. I don't think we'll exceed that. That would be I don't want to say a good problem. That's not a good problem to have. But we will have folks there. Yeah. And then, of course, I want to congratulate all of the promotions in the police department as well. We did settle the Allentown Fire Department union contract last week. So you'll be receiving that information. Yes, we are still currently in negotiations with our police union. Let's see, unfortunately, I left all my notes up in the council chambers, and I just went up to get them, and they're gone. So I think Danielle probably put them somewhere, so I really don't have my list of updates. So, and the pump station started on Beach Street this week. So we want to make sure the road doesn't get closed during, obviously, beach summer season. So we're going to be doing work now. Trying to move the Debonair's debris off of the site. You know, it's separated out into metal and wood, et cetera. So they're working on that. We do push these things. We do try to push these things along. We make many phone calls to developers, and you might have seen the fence going around Stiles School. We asked them to secure it because we always have a challenge back in the back of that school. They were asking us to come, and we're like, well, you own it now. We're happy to go there and help you, but secure the property, start your construction, which they are. So that's all I can think of from my list. I'm sorry.
Just a quick question.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Any anticipated time where it's going to be finished, the new pump
station?
Yeah, the pump station.
It's, it's a really big project. The biggest issue we have is that we have to get permission to do construction in the summer season, but that is when nesting season is, so the state wants to restrict us from doing construction in the time when most construction happens, so we're working
At that
through
area?
Yeah, it's far away, so
I didn't know there was any nesting there. I thought it was down far.
It is far. So we are trying to explain that there is no impact, but.
Right, I've never seen anything. It's down by Sandy Point.
Yep.
Oh.
Yep.
Okay.
Welcome to my world every day.
Okay.
And speaking of deep, we have a permit going in to move sand around. So you have to have a permit in place in order to move sand from one location to the next. You can't just put it in a truck and move it around. So all of the things we're queuing up for the spring now. So getting that permit to move sand from Platt Avenue over to Lake and Platt Avenue more to Beach. Speaking of beach, I know there's been more erosion. You know, that sand we put there, that was not our permanent solution. That was only our temporary, hold the rocks in place. We had somebody look at the road. The road looks fine, but still, when you look at it. But please remember that we went out to bid for to hire a company to do an environmental engineering study on that area. We suspect it's because the groins and the jetties are not doing the work that they did 30 years ago. They're now underwater. So if you look at the picture of the beach, 30 years ago compared to today, it's significantly different. So we awarded that contract to Race. Race did a kickoff last week. That's going to take quite a while because they too have to get permits from DEEP in order to do their study. Once their study is done, we have funding put aside in the capital project to address what some of the solutions might be. I think I mentioned before some of the solutions might be artificial reef balls. That's what they did in Stratford. So you actually create an artificial reef. That's it. Any questions for me? Yes, dear.
Would dredging be an option or something I know that's something they would consider. Is dredging something that maybe would, I know we keep losing the sand, so.
No, we cannot do that. You mean dredge where they're dredging the sound and then put the sand there? Yeah, no, we can't. We talked to the Army Corps of Engineering there. By the way, that dredging, they are dredging the sound. So there's three things they do with the dredging material. They put it on a barge and ship it off. They drill it and encapsulate it, or they put it offshore. And the only place they identified they might put it offshore is off of Sandy Point. But I do not think they are going to do that any longer. We pushed back. New Haven pushed back on some things. So we're going to find out as they do dredge. And I think the dredging is 5 feet deeper and 5 feet wider, which doesn't sound like a lot, but I guess it makes a big difference in boating. 5 feet. That's what the harbor master has explained to me. So, yeah.
And I just have one question. Thank you for the update that I did watch today on the Havens. Thank you very much for that update. A lot of people
Yeah,
talking.
you're welcome. It's, you know, when someone calls you to do an article, you know, you just say one thing, and then it's just because, you know, it wasn't the full story in the article, and that's not anybody's fault. It's just I was asked one question rather than what is the totality. So I don't, again, I don't go out there and announce things until I feel a little bit more better. So the only reason I did that today is because the article created speculation. Otherwise, I wouldn't have said it, because you don't know if something's going to go forward. You have no idea if somebody's going to say, you know what, it's just a little too much work, it's too much money. But obviously, I'm tracking it. So you're welcome.
And I want to thank you for speaking with the owners of Style School now for putting up that fencing. I live in the area and I drive by it every single day, and I can't tell you the number of calls that I've had to make to the police because I see lights on at all hours from folks getting in from the back, and it's walking that building with you previously and seeing the condition. It's a hazard, and I don't want anybody to get hurt. So I'm very, very happy that it's now secure and moving forward.
Yeah, one other thing I noticed last couple of days, there's an awful lot of trash in front of it. You know, when you have a snowstorm and then the snow melts, then you see, and then all the trash that hasn't been addressed in the past couple of weeks. So we had the street sweepers out last week, and we had the street sweepers out today. So we're going to try to do our best to pick up all that trash that you see left behind.
Any other new business? Councilman Heffernan?
Thank you, Chairman. The Historical Society, the West Haven Historical Society, is having an event, a Mardi Gras event, February 6th at the West Haven Elks. It's going to be great, and the band Trey Paul will be playing, so if you're able to attend, that'd be great. Thank you. February 6th.
Thank you. Anything else? See none. Motion to adjourn? 1, 2, 3. Have a good night, everybody. Thank you.